All right, and we are back here on the GSMC Football Podcast. And for the second part of the show, we are now going to take a look at the rest of the Week 2 slate for the preseason. So, like I've been saying, most of the games are being played on Saturday, which is tomorrow. And then you got 2 games on Sunday being played at the same time. So, let's get into the slate here. So, the Giants and the Texans will be facing off. Texans are 2.5-point favorites. I think it seems like Daniel Jones is going to play in this game. And if you remember last week, Drew Lock ended up getting hurt. I believe it was a hip injury, so he's going to be out. So they really only have 2 quarterbacks. They have Daniel Jones and they have Tommy DeVito, of course. So Daniel Jones kind of has to play, which, you know, the Giants might not be. I mean, he probably was going to end up playing anyways during the preseason, but still, I mean, now with Drew Lock being hurt, the Giants probably are a little hesitant maybe because obviously Daniel Jones is coming back from the ACL injury, although it seems like he is all the way back because, he has been practicing. But, preseason is meaningless football for him, and they don't want something happening and then now you only got Tommy DeVito as your only active quarterback, and they're going to have to look to bring somebody else in. But Daniel Jones looks like I think he's going to play in this game. I think we are going to see the Giants, most of the Giants starters. I know Malik Neighbors, got banged up earlier this week, but it doesn't seem like something that the Giants are too concerned about. Also, Tyrone Tracy, the rookie running back that they got from Purdue, he got carted off the field, but he was back at practice. So that's good to hear because whenever you hear a player getting carted off the field, you think, "Yep, that's it. They're out." But they're out for the year. But that hasn't really been the case because it's happened to quite a few players, and for some of them, they're back at practice, or it's not an injury that's going to keep them out long term. So, yeah. So Daniel Jones could play. We'll see, and we'll see how he is. And for the Texans, I'm not 100% sure if C.J. Stroud is going to play. Did play that one drive last week against the Steelers, and threw a touchdown to Tank Dell. So that's got to get Texans fans excited. But even if they do play, it's probably going to be for a little bit. But we'll see more of the Davis Mills and Case Keenums of the world in this game. But yeah, so there's that game. You got the Steelers and the Bills. So Russell Wilson is going to start this game. So we're going to get to see his first action of the preseason. That was dealing with a little bit of a calf injury, and Justin Fields was getting work with the first strings, and we got to see Justin Fields a little bit last week, and wasn't great. So we'll see how Russell Wilson is in his first action. The Steelers are 5.5-point favorites against the Bills, and we'll see if the Bills starters end up playing in that game. And then we got the Falcons, who we will be talking about in a little bit. They'll be taking on the Ravens. We'll see more of Michael Penix. What kind of encore performance he's going to have in this game. For the Ravens, again, we'll see what if their starters end up, how much of their starters end up playing in this game. The Bengals and the Bears, so we'll see more of Caleb Williams. Will Joe Burrow play? Because he did play against the Buccaneers and threw a touchdown pass to T. Higgins. And still waiting on some updates with Jamar Chase. But, also I'm looking at it now. Tried to hold back the sneeze the best I could there, but failed miserably. Jamar Chase was still not practicing, so we'll see what ends up happening there. I see that Jake Browning is dealing with a little bit of a rib injury, so we'll see if he ends up playing. The Lions and the Chiefs is interesting because apparently when I was watching the NFL Network last night, it seemed like the Chiefs starters, most of them are going to be playing, the first half. So we're going to see a lot of them in this game, and that's 4 o'clock Eastern time on NFL Network. So, and the Chiefs and the Lions, that was the game that started off the season last year, and that was a good game. And I thought for the moment that maybe we would see that game as the Super Bowl, but that ended up not happening. And Patrick Mahomes and the offense, I mean, they did okay from the game against the Jaguars before they got taken out. They're not going to have Hollywood Brown. He's going to be out, but he's not going to require surgery. But it's just unfortunate that he got hurt on the very first play of their preseason game against the Jaguars last week. So, but they're 7-point favorites, and we'll see. With the Lions, how many of their starters are going to play. Jahmyr Gibbs is dealing with his, I think, hamstring injury, but they're saying it's not that serious. So we'll keep an eye on that. The Vikings and the Browns. Also, Browns are 3-point favorites. I mean, will we see Deshaun Watson? We saw all the other quarterbacks last week. And then for the Vikings, I mean, you got Sam Darnold and Jaren Hall. There's no J.J. McCarthy now. So I'm assuming we'll see Darnold again in that game. Got the Colts and the Cardinals. I'm assuming we'll see more of Anthony Richardson in this game. They played all their quarterbacks. I think they played like 5 quarterbacks in the game against the Broncos. The Cardinals, will we see Kyler Murray? Maybe. The Colts are 1.5 favorites in that game. Dolphins are 5-point favorites against the Commanders. Again, I know I'm reading the lines, but I'm just doing that just to add more to the games here. But yeah, I mean, Jayden Daniels didn't look bad in his debut. I mean, he scored a touchdown in his first drive. The Dolphins, how many of the starters are we going to see there? They got the win against the Falcons last week in week 1 of the preseason. We'll see. We got the Titans and the Seahawks as well. That's in Tennessee. Jets and Panthers. Not going to see any Aaron Rodgers, but we'll probably see Tyrod Taylor, the other quarterbacks as well. Will Bryce? I think, is Bryce Young going to play for the Panthers? I would like to see if he ends up playing. And then we got the 2 LA teams going at it. Rams and the Chargers. Got the Buccaneers and the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is not going to be playing in that game. I saw that CJ Beathard's going to get most of the workload there. Cowboys and the Raiders will be the last game on Saturday night. That'll be in Vegas. So we'll see more of the quarterback battle. That's one of the more intriguing battles this preseason. Who's going to end up getting that? And then on Sunday, you got the Packers and the Broncos. So we'll probably see all 3 quarterbacks play for the Broncos again. And for the Packers, we'll see if Jordan Love ends up playing. I mean, listen, we saw that play to Dontavian Wicks last week, so maybe that's the only preseason action we see with Jordan Love. And then you got the Saints and the 49ers. Like I said, both games will be played at the same time on Sunday. So one of them is going to be on Fox, the Saints and the 49ers, and then on NFL Network you'll have the Packers and the Broncos. So we'll see how many of the starters play for both of those teams. Because for the Saints, I know Derek Carr played a little bit. For the 49ers, we'll see. But yeah, that's the slate for this weekend. And I'm not going to give you any predictions on what I think who's going to win because it's the preseason. But that's just to get you prepared. And then we got one more week of preseason games. We got Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. The Colts and the Bengals. Also have the Chiefs and the Bears as well being played. 3 games on Friday. Handful of games Saturday, and then 3 games on Sunday. And then we're off for a week with the NFL, and then we're back for the real deal. So looking forward to all that. It's coming up fast. But let me know what you guys think, though, about the games for this weekend. What are you most excited about for this weekend? Any, with the quarterback battles, any of the young guys you're going to be paying close attention to in these games? I know a lot of people are just, not big fans of the preseason, which I understand. But hey, it's football, so I'm excited either way. So, anyways, before we go to break, I just want to remind you guys again that if you want to tip or donate to the show, make a contribution to the show, you can hit the little donate symbol, the chat $ symbol in the chat, and it'll allow you to show a super chat on the live broadcast. I'll make sure to acknowledge it on the broadcast, and it just makes the show better. It makes the show more interactive between myself, the host, and you guys, the viewers. We appreciate your guys' viewership each and every day, and it's just a great way to contribute to the show. We appreciate that. And also, there's the link, GSMCPodcast.net, if you'd rather do that. But that will take you away from the video, and you'll be on a separate site. But once again, we appreciate your guys' viewership each and every day. And, like I said, it's a great way to contribute to the show and make the show more entertaining. So we are going to take our next break. And then when we come back, we will talk about Justin Simmons signing with the Atlanta Falcons. So, with that being said, stick around, and we'll be right back here on the GSMC Football Podcast.